What's going on, y'all? I hope everyone's having a very Merry Christmas. I figured before I get the stream started today, I would record the build that I've been using to solo flawless all the dungeons that I haven't been able to so far. It's just Starfire Protocol. I wasn't really willing to use this whenever Solar 3.0 come out, but I finally give it a chance, and it's carried me through 3 dungeons that I haven't been able to beat up until now. For the main mods that matter on our armor, seeking wells because I'm lazy and I don't feel like chasing them down. For my arms, I'm running elemental ordnance. This is what I use for spawning elemental wells. I've also got bolstering detonation on here. This is so that I'm able to get my rift back whether I get a kill with my grenade or not, such as during a boss fight. Say you start a new damage phase before you're able to get your well back. Using this will just allow you to have infinite empowering rift during that damage phase so that you don't have to worry about running out of grenades. On my chest piece, I've got void resist and concussive dampener, mainly because the new dungeon, a lot of the enemies do void splash damage. So this just helps me stay alive in some of the harder content where I wasn't quite up to level, I believe. And elemental charge. This is just going to activate another mod we're using later in the build. Heal thyself. This is what we're using elemental charge for. This way, whenever we are not, so I'm using this because I don't have a healing rift, and whenever I'm not benefiting from Well of Life, which is currently equipped on my class item, this is just an on-demand burst of healing. I can throw this at an enemy, and whenever it kills them, if the first detonation kills one enemy, that'll heal me. If the second detonation also kills a second enemy, it'll give me another chunk of health because of the way fusion grenades are currently working in the game. I've also got grenade launcher holster just to hopefully make sure that my anarchy always had ammo in it whenever I pulled it out. On my class item, like I mentioned, I've got Well of Life. This makes it where whenever I pick up a solar elemental well, I basically get like the dollar store version of restoration. But it works good enough to keep me alive since I have 100 resilience. That's also another very important part of the build. Weakened clear is here just so that I have a debuff available to me. Like I just said, 100 resilience is honestly the most important stat for the build. This is what helps you stay alive. It gives you just a little bit more time to make those split-second decisions on whether you need to move to cover or try and get a kill to heal or whatever it is. In my subclass, we are running Empowering Rift and Well. The Empowering Rift is because of Starfire Protocol. Burst Glide, doesn't matter, that's personal preference. Celestial Fire is also, you could probably run either melee here. I run Celestial Fire because of the extended range, and also with the current setup, one fusion grenade and a melee will cause an ignition, which is another main source. It's another main source of our damage, causing ignitions. So just being able to get one right off the bat without having to throw your second grenade, pretty nice in my opinion. Also, for the Hydras at the end of Spire of the Watcher, the 2 Hydras you have to kill before the Minotaurs spawn. If you throw a fusion grenade and 1 melee at them, the grenade melee and ignition all together will kill them, so you don't even have to waste any ammo on them. For my aspect, I'm running Touch of Flame so that my fusion grenades explode twice, do more damage, makes them much more effective. Icarus Dash is a personal preference of mine because I cannot jump worth a shit on my Warlock, to be honest with you. So I run this. It helps me recover whenever I've got momentum going in the wrong direction. And it also helps me to make a couple long jumps that I normally wouldn't. But if you feel like Heat Rises would benefit you more, by all means run it. For my fragments, be entirely honest with you, 3 of these are only here for stats, but they do kind of benefit the build. Defeating scorched targets grants melee energy. That has really no effect on the build. It's here for the stats. Solar Ignition spreads Scorch. Okay, I lied. 3 of these are here for stats, and that's the only reason they're here. 10 Recovery, that's there for stats. I like triple hundreds. 10 Discipline, Ignition spreads Scorch. That's okay, I guess. The 10 Resilience, I definitely needed to reach 100 Resilience on this build. But getting an Orb of Power every once in a while, that's not very important. It'll be nice, I guess. Ember of Ashes, this is the only fragment on here that actually means anything because this allows us to cause ignitions more frequently or more easily. For my kinetic weapon, I've got an auto-loading Vorpal Breach Grenade Launcher just for a little bit of extra damage, I guess. Not sure. You could really run whatever you want. Sometimes I'll run this auto rifle with Demolitionist just so that I can consistently get damage out. Certain weapons like this, you can just hold down the trigger and you'll be able to throw another grenade before you run out of ammo in the magazine, so you never have to reload during a damage phase, at least with the auto rifle. Run whatever primary you want. Like I just mentioned, one with Demolitionist can be beneficial. I've got Anarchy. I just wanted to bring it back out the vault. Honestly, after the Breach and Clear season, I haven't touched it very much, except occasionally here and there to play around. But with Weak and Clear, it feels good again. If you don't have Anarchy, or you could run Wither Horde. What I see a lot of people using with this build instead of Anarchy is Wither Horde. That would probably be the better damage or DPS option to go with, say, Wither Horde and like a Demolitionist rocket if you have one. I don't actually have a good Demolitionist rocket, so this is what I've put together. And if anyone else is able to use this build to solo flawless any dungeons, fucking let me know, because I have been struggling with Pit of Heresy for longer than I'm willing to admit. But with this build, I was able to do it finally. Yeah, and I think I'm gonna stop rambling about it now.